Hello, everybody! Welcome to Knights of Prospect. It's so exciting. It's the best. It's the most fun time. I'm so glad everyone's here. Look at all these beautiful friends. Look at all of us. This is a really wonderful live action role-playing show. We're a bunch of fun improvisers and actors up here, and we like to have a good time while we play a game. My name's Sam, and I play Chauncey, who is a very powerful boy wizard. He doesn't necessarily control his actions like an adult because he's not an adult. He has lots of fun with the things that happen from there magically. It's a great time. Who would like to introduce themselves? Whitney, maybe?
Sure. Hi, I'm Whitney Hawkins. I play Hazel Pippet, who is a druid and halfling. And she's a good time. She knows the mountains and not a whole lot else. And it's an adventure. How about you, Rob?
Oh, hi, I'm Rob. I play Ronaldo Francis Mackay IV, a foppish bard and noble from Tower Town who's currently in a battle of wits with his potentially but probably evil father. I had a lot of evidence on my father doing evil things, and those may have disappeared in a cataclysmic event that ended in us being part of a siege, and it's slowly dawning on him as the episode begins. What about you, Kaylee? You introduce yourself.
My name is Kaylee Kane, and I am playing Vil, who in a previous life was an elven ranger and has now returned triumphantly from the afterlife after sacrificing herself many weeks ago as a new class called a Forest Revenant.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
That's my new class.
What?
I'm
That's
not a ranger
amazing.
anymore. Yeah, I've brought back, thank you, returned. I'm made of trees now, and I am called the Forest Revenant, a class made up courtesy of John Serpico, our game master. John, do you want to introduce yourself?
No, he doesn't. He's muted.
Here I am, just dramatic effect pause there. So I'm John Serpico. I'm the game master, which means that I'm playing all the other folks in this world and giving our heroes stuff to do every week. Some weeks are busier than others. I would say last week was an incredibly busy week for our heroes. It was our 24th episode, I believe. My count is right.
Almost 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. My goodness. But let's talk about it a little bit. What exactly happened over the last couple of weeks, and kind of what does that mean to all of us and the greater story here?
Well, we were, as we've been for the past 6 months, we've been trying to become part of the Knights of Prospect, the fabled, famous organization that is in Tower Town. And right as we are about to join, there was a big explosion. Literally in the middle of the sentence, you are now part of the Knights of, and then everyone disappeared.
Which is what I believe we technically are now.
The Knights of Explosion.
Knights of Explosion is pretty good too.
It's pretty great.
Chauncey would love to be a member of the Knights of Explosion.
I think we're probably an honorary member of the Knights of Explosion.
There's like a subset of the Knights of Prospect called the Knights of Explosion.
And it's us, baby.
Apparently, Vil became a revenant upon her grand return.
Yes, my grand return from the afterlife. I am technically not a knight at all. Not a knight of Prospect, not a knight of anything, because I wasn't there. But I did. We'll see.
I mean, technically everyone else are the only knights left. That they could probably swear you in.
They could use me. And I was in the song. So
right. You were in the song.
We did sing a song. Winnie sang a song of our triumphs. And there was an explosion. There was a huge battle, which we won.
Yeah, that was
that's the story.
That's I think about the kind of the thick and thin of it here. And in a lot of ways, the last couple of episodes represented kind of the end of this grand ascendant arc for all of you, like this big journey to kind of prove yourself. And what I love about this game and this group is that, like, your journey to join the Knights of Prospect kind of reflected all your own personal journeys, like, kind of like Ronaldo kind of figuring things out with his family and himself, like Hazel becoming a more, kind of a citizen of the world and leaving
society.
Yeah. Vil conquering death and returning with great purpose. Chauncey kind of deciding the wizard that he wants to be. Like, all of these things kind of were happening, and you're all now in this place where I think you all have a greater understanding of yourself. And also now you're in this august company. Well, you're not really in the august company so much as you are the august company, because everyone else has vanished. So I think actually with that, we should probably get started here. So here we are. All of you, not just those here, but the rest of your number is as well. Jelly and Raz and Gregory and kind of everybody else are here. You're at Etama, the grand chapter house of the Knights of Prospect. It's now safe, such as it is. The siege is over. The remaining laughing companions that besieged Etama, that have not been killed, have fled. You don't see the body of Hal the Red anywhere, so you think that he fled as well. And after,
does he have the bubonic plague now?
The guy was so sick.
You got really sick.
It was gross.
Yeah, Raz put something real bad into Hal the Red, and so his recovery will be long and arduous, assuming that he survived the battle. You haven't found him. Essentially, he and Rose both kind of escaped, but they're certainly worse for the wear.
And she died once too, right?
Yeah, at least that was the thinking.
Well, oh goodness.
I had to kill her twice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how the heck are you, Vil? Jeez.
Hey, Vil!
You seem more, might I say, and I hope this isn't rude to say to an elf, tree-like?
Yes, thank you.
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay, good.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
It's a compliment.
Yeah.
I take it as one.
Vil,
Okay.
can you stretch out like stretch your limbs now like vines?
No.
Oh, okay.
That would have been
fine.
cool.
That's
That would
fine.
have
I'm
been
sure
really
what you
cool.
could do is cool too. I just thought that could be cool.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll work on it.
maybe. The force has given me plenty of gifts, but we'll be thankful for the fact that I'm alive for
It's just-
now.
Yeah. Oh, for
It's
sure.
just
Yeah.
really nice to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it would be even cool if you could also like stretch.
I can't stretch. My body is the same way. Maybe, Chauncey. Maybe.
Oh, cool.
We took real good care of Hobie while you were gone.
Yeah. Oh, when you were gone, Hobie had a bit of a meltdown. One of our favorite bakeries was in the wake of his meltdown, and some authorities are still kind of looking for him, but that's okay. They're
Classic
looking for
Hobie.
me too. And but we took great care of him. We did a little scavenger hunt for him. That's when the bakery exploded, actually.
I made him think that we were being held hostage by accident.
It was
And I gave him a little, but he has a little hatchet now.
He has a little hatchet. We don't know where he got it. We don't ask questions because he's part of the family. You don't ask a family member with a hatchet where they got it.
Oh, Phil. Speaking of awesome weapons, I draw my training sword and I show it to Vil, and I point at the one notch I put on there. See, Vil, this was from my duel with a hellhound.
You hate someone?
Yeah, exactly. I bonked him on the head once, and so I put a notch in.
Well,
Bonking good.
that's I mean, that's great, Chauncey. That's very exciting.
Thank you. I practiced what you told me. I knew you would think it was so cool. And
Good.
Now
You
you do.
kept your eyes open?
Yeah, the whole time.
Excellent. Very nice work.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, this is obviously an incredibly, meaningful and heartfelt reunion. Like, you're all kind of awash in, these feelings of relief and also anxiety and confusion and joy and exhaustion. Hobie is really Hobie. Though you could read it on his face, he's just so happy. He's probably got the least complicated set of emotions right now. He's just glad his friend is back. And, all of you are sitting around the table, and, there's an awful lot kind of going on here. The outer defenses of Etama was never really meant to be a fortress. It was meant to be just kind of this big, sprawling, impressive-looking building. It's almost like somewhere between like a social club and a ballroom. I mean, it did have a wall, and it still does, but it's collapsed in some places. The front gates are all smashed open. The roof, the front of the roof of Etama was on fire, and so there needs to be some repairs and all of that. And, but I feel like I'm bearing the lead here. The damage to Etama is secondary to the fact that there were dozens and dozens and dozens of Knights of Prospect, and now there are only the 8 of you. And, everyone else has vanished. And all that Chauncey was able to glean before kind of the siege happened was that Etama itself was the target of a magical attack from very far away. On top of all of that, there are 2 archmages. Archmage Basia, the ruler of Tower Town, and Archmage Akka, her predecessor that Chauncey kind of returned from another plane.
My bad.
Well, we don't know how bad it is or not. What kind of we, the players and the audience, know is that there might be 2 Archmage Akkas right now. But you, the player, you, Vil, Chauncey, Ronaldo, and Hazel, all you know is that Archmage Bossy and Archmage Akka are slowly regaining consciousness on the, expansive floor at the foot of the table. So there's kind of a lot going on, and it's really up to you to figure out kind of what you want to do. You've got Etama and all of its various kind of secrets and rooms and things. You've got 2 semi-conscious archmages waking up. You also need to figure out what happened to the other Knights of Prospect. There are a surprising number of pirates that are having a picnic lunch in the stables right now after they came and after Jelly kind of brought them in as reinforcements.
Didn't really strike me as the picnic type, but I'm glad they're having a great time.
Yeah, they were. Jelly kind of held the line and said, "Please do not go into Etama and steal things." So to kind of keep themselves on the up and up, they got a bunch of food and a bunch of medicine and are now having a picnic outside while you all kind of discuss things. So
they sing a surprise in the mount.
They do
songs.
Yeah, and they definitely had some of those baskets, but it's like they knew they might have a picnic later. They brought picnic baskets.
They definitely brought a picnic basket to the
They
scene.
look new, like they've been waiting for an opportunity to use the picnic basket.
You don't think they stole the picnic baskets?
Maybe a while ago, and then they brought them. They just been in the back of a closet.
Maybe we should do a test. We leave out a picnic basket and walk away from
see
it and see if the pirates take it, so we can know if they stole those picnic baskets.
This feels like low on our list of priorities, but I'm gonna put this on our list of priorities because I
Awesome.
need to know.
Okay.
So what do folks want to do? What's kind of the first thing you all want to do? Or we could kind of break it up and everyone can do something else. I leave it up to you. So anyone with an idea, shout it out, and we'll go from there.
I would like to find my brother Ramtamdal.
Sure. So Chauncey's looking for Ramtamdal. Does anyone want to go with Chauncey, or does someone else have a different idea of something to do?
I would like to do some scouting to see if we can find these dozens of other knights. So I would like to be take a falcon form and just fly around and see what I could see.
Absolutely.
I'll scout around the inside of Etama and see if I can find any hints or clues as to where they might be.
That was also what I was going to do. Either scout around looking for them, or honestly scour the armory for any sort of tool that might help us. Because I know in the basement they have that sort of, I say, pocket dimension. Maybe they have a stone of scrying or some other sort of arcane artifact that could help us find it.
Absolutely. So that sounds like kind of three good groupings here. So Chauncey's going to look for Ramtamdal. Hazel is going to take bird form and do some aerial reconnaissance. And then Vil and Ronaldo are going to kind of see what they have to work with here within Etama. The rest of your company are here tending to Basia and Akka. Gregory is very insistent, along with Dolly's help, to start at least repiling the stone of where it was collapsed on the wall. So let's start with Chauncey. So Chauncey, you head back towards Tower Town, and you find Ramtamdal soon enough. Where is he?
Ramtamdal is out by the fountain.
Sure. So he's is he alone or is he with anybody?
Oh, he's alone.
So yeah, Ramtamdal is kind of staring into the fountain and pacing a little bit, lost in thought until he's kind of snapped out of it by you.
Ramtamdal!
Oh,
Hello.
Chauncey.
I wanted to make sure you heard me. You seemed pensive.
I saw Archmage Basi and Archmage Akka fly north to where you were, and we don't know what happened. What did happen?
So basically we did this super awesome presentation. I gave like an amazing speech, and then we were being the Knights of Prospect and stuff, and there was a big explosion, and all the Knights of Prospect are gone.
Wait, did you make it? Did you get it? Are you in?
Yes. The words were, "You're now the Knights of," and then the big explosion. So, like, yes, I'd say yes.
Ramtamdal, like, kind of straightens up, and his eyes go wide, and he smiles, and he kind of takes a half step in to hug you, and then kind of pauses and that's great, Chauncey.
Yeah, thank you for giving. Thank you. I thank you for letting me use this new very shiny white robe. I think it added to my appeal on stage. I hit my mark, and I think it helped everyone be at ease and feel like I wasn't going to summon a demon or something. And
well, it suits you, brother. It really does.
Thank you.
So the Knights of Prospect are gone, or the others? What about your friends? Are they all there?
My friends are okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the ones who, with those pirates. Did you see the pirates having a picnic, like in a really elaborate picnic? Or like, did you see someone carrying a basket? Maybe they shouldn't.
Well, a couple of the other students saw, and he like points to some random spot in town. A number of people emerging from the sewers, carrying cutlasses and whatnot, screaming about heading north. So that was probably them. I'll have to ask to see if anyone had any baskets.
Yeah, ask all the kids around town. Tell them to check and see if all the baskets are in the place they should be in. I'm trying to figure something out.
Yeah, of course. he kind of stands up straight again. Anything to help a knight of Prospect, huh?
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Hey, also before that, I'm told that may be a low priority mission. So I wanted to ask. I know I've been playing with. And I open my cloak and take out the book of angels and angelic beings. I know you know a little bit more about these type of things than me. I was wondering if you might be able to help me. I communicate with a being that like in the past I may have done this on my own, a spur of the moment, just like go into like the bathroom and try to summon. But I think now I'm more matured, and maybe if you maybe help me do the ritual, it might go a little bit better.
Sure. You want to do it now? Should we do it here? I don't know where Archmage Bossy is, but we could probably get one of the other mages to give us a ritual room.
Oh, a room. I've never gotten to use a room before. What do you think a room would help, or could we just draw it here?
Wherever you want. It'll take a little while. I don't want to be interrupted by foot traffic. You pick a spot. You're the Knight of Prospect.
Oh, cool. I know. And I just conjure the images of little cones, like traffic cones, around the fountain to indicate that no one should walk here.
Sure, yeah. Caution, wet floor, angels may appear, kind of thing. Got it. So you kind of cordon off an area, and you begin kind of a big, heavy ritual. So, what is it you're trying to summon? Now, you were able to summon kind of a cherub, which is, like a kind of sagely angel. But there are all sorts of things on the angelic plane that you can talk to. So what exactly are you trying to find?
Well, I wanted to try to get something kind of big. So I did want to say I would like to trace this ritual circle around the ritual circle that I used to speak with. Oh dear, the memory of that day is a little foggy. The ever-present demonic being.
The inevitable.
The inevitable. I want to trace it in the same spot. And I would like to speak with a more powerful angel than the cherub, because I would like this one to perhaps be able to help with our current situation. Maybe perhaps an angel of a battle of sorts. To fight powerful foes, or guidance for doing so.
Gotcha. So you, there are kind of two types of angels that would help you in this way. Thrones and seraphs. Thrones like sit in judgment of things. Seraphs are the giant wings, burning swords, smite enemies kind of thing. So are you looking for a throne or a seraph?
I'm thinking the flaming sword seraph. That might be more my speed.
So we will begin drafting the ritual circle, and we will come back to you in a little bit. Hazel, so you take the form of a falcon. Let's have you roll that and see how well you do.
All right, and that's 2d6?
Yep, that will be 2d6 plus your wisdom.
Oh, all right. Six.
Okay, so you have kind of one charge of Peregrine Falcon to use here. So, you kind of kneel down and get small, and kind of the ground rises up around you, and when it kind of cracks apart, you're a falcon. You take off into the sky. So you have kind of one charge worth of scout. So the question is, really, what do you want to do with it?
Well, call me persnickety. I just can't shake the feeling that this has something to do with that bad old mountain that we saw before. So I'm gonna head back to where we saw that evil lady.
Gotcha.
Yava.
Yeah.
What her name was? Yeah. Go back to where that mountain's in trouble.
Sure. So you this takes kind of several hours. If you were going over land, this would be days and days and days of riding to the eastern frontier of the Riverlands, but you kind of cover it in hours. And you're circling and you're looking, and the sense you got from Chauncey is this was like done on a plateau, and there'd be some kind of ritual, and you're kind of looking for evidence of that. And you don't find any. What you do find, though, is far, far stranger, which is this. That mountain where you went into to and ended up meeting Yava the first time, that used to be an entrance to the dwarven hegemony that was sealed off. There is what could best be described as a town there now. Like,
there was nothing there before.
No, it was one of the dwarven entry doors into the hegemony, and you kind of went into the cave, and if you headed straight in, you'd be in the Dwarven Empire, but that was all closed off because the dwarves kind of put a cork in it. But yeah, outside of it is like a village. Like there's wooden buildings. There's like a wooden wall that was built up with all felled trees, flags flying.
Do I recognize the flags?
No, sort of. You recognize them as battle streamers or war banners. They're not the kind of flags that would be hanging from a flagpole. They're the kind of flags that an army would carry.
Oh.
And you have to kind of dark purple with black lines. So you're able to scout for something. I'm gonna have you roll 2d6 plus your wisdom one more time. This is going to be like a little lightweight discern reality.
All right, that's a 10.
All right. So I'm going to let you ask 3 questions of me, either from the discern realities list or just kind of off the top of your head about what you see.
All right. What here can we use?
What here can you use? Well, if for whatever reason you decided you need to come here, you need to take a group here, that wooden palisade wall is freshly built. And so if you needed to somehow get to this small village or get in, you probably would be kind of through sheer force of will able to get into it.
All right. Who's in control?
Yava.
Ah, I knew it.
Yeah, you end up seeing her in consultation with other elves in the middle of this little town square that they have built. She's literally consulting with them, and they're kind of heading off in various directions. It looks like Yava is building something here or mustering something here.
She's so smart and evil and sexy. Ugh.
Yeah, there is no bad angle with Yava. Even from up here, she cuts kind of quite a dashing figure.
All right. One more question?
Yep.
All right. What's about to happen?
Yava is going to continue with her plans, which involve gaining a greater sphere of influence. So whatever Yava is doing here is the first step in something greater.
All right. And am I seeing any signs of the Knights of Prospect here?
No. No big ritual circles, no, someone carving help into the side of the mountain, nothing. This looks like a completely different problem.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, I'm going to start heading back.
So you kind of bank and turn, and our focus kind of stays on this village for a while. Someone dressed essentially as a page or a squire walks up to Yava and says, "All right, well, the shipments from the Silent Gatherer should be here in the next couple of days." And Yava nods and says, "Yeah, well, keep your eye. We will have much to do when our supplies are fully assembled." And at that moment, she kind of looks up at the sky and sees a peregrine falcon banking back towards the coast. She just kind of looks at it for a second, nods, and then gets back to work on a map. All right.
I blush a little under my feathers.
Back at Etama, Vil and Ronaldo, you are kind of going through Etama, and I'll give you just a general lay of it here. So, you're on the first floor, so to speak. Like, that's where the Great Hall is. It's one of those things where you kind of open up the big double doors of this giant building and you're in the Great Hall. And there's the great table, the great circular table of the Knights of Prospect, and, big open area in front of it. There are chairs, and like the room's not divided up with walls or anything, but it's divided up into like different areas. And this is where people come to petition the knights. Knights have all these big open meetings there. Now, kind of beyond that, in the back are, kind of 2 floors of essentially barracks, like private quarters for all the knights. All the knights have a room here. Whether or not all the knights live here is kind of up to them. But there are all these kind of rooms here, kind of labeled doors and all of those things. Some of them are locked, some of them aren't. Also back here is a, kind of a kitchen and a larder and all of that. So kind of the first floor is kind of this big open public area. And then the back of the first floor and the second floor is just all residences, kitchen facilities, things like that. Mm-hmm. And then you go downstairs. Now, downstairs is very, very off limits. But you are the Knights of Prospect, and this is your house. So the things down here to keep in mind is there are really kind of 3 rooms of immediate consequence. The first is essentially this kind of big domed room that has several pocket dimensions in it, and it is quite scarily just kind of open. Like there isn't even a door to it. Like you can just walk in, and there's a pedestal in the middle, and there's the pocket dimension kind of in an orb that Ronaldo, you certainly went to, and several of your friends, but there are 3 or 4 others kind of on other pedestals in here. Mm-hmm. So there's the, essentially the danger room or the training room that has all these pocket dimensions. And then the other 2 rooms of consequence are the armory across from the training room, and that door is locked, very locked, and very, very warded. And then the other is it's kind of at the end of a hall, and there are 2 statues, 2 stone statues of these helmetless knights, and one of them is holding this big spear, and the other one is holding this great broadsword, and the 2 of them are standing in front of a door, and carved into the door is the words, "The Great Vault of the Knights."
Ooh, do you think this will be it, Vil?
It?
I don't know. It being the answer to our problems. I don't know. Great magical missile that will find and slay our foes, or a big orb of seeking our friends.
Perhaps.
It just feels off limits, and I really want to open the door.
I think we should open it either way.
I'm gonna. Oh my gosh! He pushes his hands on the door.
Yeah. Ronaldo, just give me a 2d6 plus wisdom.
Sure. 9.
Okay. You have a weird feeling that someone is watching you.
Ah! This is warded, but it's an alarm ward or a sight ward. Maybe both. I kick it.
No. That same very unsettling feeling that someone is not only watching you, but someone is like a foot away and behind you.
I look behind me.
There's nobody there. I mean, you and Vil are kind of standing next to each other. I mean, technically, Hobie is right behind you, looking up at you expectantly.
I put my hand on the door, and I say, I would like to request entry as a Knight of Prospect.
The statue holding the spear turns its head to you and looks you in the eyes.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Present to us the keys.
And if we don't?
Your entry shall be barred.
Oh.
Perhaps instead of a key, we could present sort of a compelling
series of arguments.
Yes.
Sure. What do you want to say to the great stone wardens of the ancient vault?
Okay. Well, so hello. We haven't met before. I am not a Knight of Prospect, but well, we've done some pretty impressive things, and you see, all the other Knights of Prospect have gone somewhere. We don't know where, but we might be able to find them at some point. And this door is intriguing to us as people who are looking to help.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. Good answer.
I'm going to say 2d6 plus wisdom.
Oh.
You tried to make a compelling argument. You're appealing to their better angels.
I was afraid you were going to say charisma. Okay. 10.
Hey.
I'm very wise now.
Yeah.
Always assumed you were.
It's you realize, Ronaldo, when listening to Vil, it's not just what she said; it's the gravity with which she said it. Like this, Vil seems older somehow, much older, and it's as if someone kind of draped in noble purpose is just speaking to two other beings draped in noble purpose. And the knight, these knight statues just kind of stand there, and then they each step off of their pedestals.
Whoa!
Thank you very much.
And turn and grab these giant handles of the door. Wonderful. And they kind of lift up the vault door, which is this must weigh a couple of tons.
Huh.
And they kind of twist it, and it rolls away into the wall.
Yes, very helpful. Thank you.
Wow, that was impressive. You're just, there's so much more mystery to you, Vil?
Do you want to see something else?
Oh my God, yes.
Do you have a piece of fruit?
I mean, I have some jerky. Will that work?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. I
No,
know
don't hand it to me. Put it on your head.
this is a joke, right?
No.
Okay.
Okay, watch this.
Put a little jerky on my head.
Okay, I take a step back. I show Ronaldo I'm not holding anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then an arrow appears in my hand.
Oh.
And
Oh
I
no.
stretch it back.
Oh gosh. Am I supposed to stand still? I'm not
Stand
good at
very still.
this.
I close my eyes.
No. Mm.
And I release.
You feel just like this real quick zip of air, of cold air.
Ugh.
And yeah, Ronaldo, you're perfectly still. The jerky is gone, and so is Hobie. Hobie's about 50 feet away eating a piece of jerky that an arrow went through.
Duck. Whatever. It's fine.
He can have it.
No, he can have it now. It's on the ground anyways. That was very impressive. Huh.
Thank you for the jerky for my companion. Shall we go inside?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's an arrow in there and some jerky in there now, so.
Okay, so the vault is, well, it's not
Wow.
huge, but it is impressive.
It's both overwhelming and underwhelming.
Yeah, there are a couple of tables in them. Essentially, it's almost like you're in a not a sarcophagus, like a tomb. Like there are all these holes in the wall,
Hey.
and some of them have like big heavy stone boxes. Others have stacks of items like wrapped in oiled cloth.
Oh.
There's this really strange, complicated numbering system everywhere. There are a couple of tables I mentioned in the middle of the room. One thing that immediately gets your attention, Ronaldo, is one of the tables has all of the evidence that you turned over against your family.
Oh, thank Antaresh. Oh, all right.
What is that?
While you were gone, we've stumbled upon some evidence that my father has committed major treason, and here is all of the evidence. I thought it poofed away.
Well, I'm looking forward to learning more about what treason is. That sounds very serious.
It's very serious. You wouldn't like it.
Yeah. So what do you want to? Yes.
Just put it in my pouch.
So what is it that you want to look for in here?
I want to look for. You said this is sort of like a bit of almost like a morgue or tomb. I want to look through sort of the ancient heroes and look for one that I might recognize with my bardic knowledge that is known for like divination magic or some sort of seeing magic.
Sure. So let's Ronaldo. Let's have you roll 2d6 plus your wisdom.
Sure.
Give you a +1 because you do know an awful lot about great heroes, including those that were in the Knights of Prospect.
Is 13 good? I think it might be.
Is exceptionally good. So I need you to tell me the name of the ancient Knights of Prospect hero that you want to do research in the vault.
I'm looking for some evidence of a hero named Elva the Seer.
Elva the Seer. Yeah, you find essentially her file.
Whoa! Here it is.
Elva the Seer.
Right next to Morbus the Boring. Okay.
Known also as She of Solitude. Elva the Seer was a knight of Prospect a century ago. Wow. Famous because she became separated from a group of knights that were ranging south into Vore to do something. And they became separated, and Elva, using her divination, essentially was able to navigate the Orcish lands by herself for months, and ultimately found what had happened to the knights and kind of made it back. So she almost went on this big grand quest. And as you kind of dig through, like this, the vault has a bunch of different things. One, there's a whole section that has just the archived knowledge and history and tales of all these former knights. So you have this whole big group, this whole section of this library. And there are artifacts and tokens. It's almost like each knight got the equivalent of a time capsule.
I don't know.
There's also down here, by the way, as you were looking, unfathomable wealth. Like not just kind of these artifacts and these tales and stuff, but there is a whole corner of the room that has what could best be described as a city buying amount of gold and gems.
Wow.
Huh. What a modest amount of money.
So
Nice.
you find the kind of the missives and letters of Elva the Seer, She of Solitude. So before we decide what you want to do with that, let's cut back to Chauncey and Rontomdal. So Chauncey and Rontomdal, you've spent a number of hours preparing a ritual to communicate with a seraph, a great mighty war angel. And you're doing it essentially in the downtown, but people are respecting the kind of the cones you put up.
Mind the cones, everyone. Very important magics. Winner of the magic fair. Yes, I will sign autographs later. And I direct any children of the town nearby to help form a perimeter. And I direct any of them that have sunglasses or like a nice suit to print up and look like they're ready to defend the area.
Yeah, you have kind of a smattering of people meant to defend the ritual, and let's have you roll it. 2d6 plus intelligence to contact another plane.
Oh boy. I would like to also have a quick spar with Rontomdal to attempt to impress the seraph. Should I do that before or after I roll?
Oh, let's do it after.
Oh, good. And 11.
All right, you got a good one. Describe what this ritual summoning looks like.
All right. We've been drawing a circle around and encompassing the fountain, just like when I spoke to the inevitable who was a jerk. And Rontomdal has helped me. And all of the insignias, everything that we drew in dirt along the ground is very flowy and beautiful and interweaving and interconnected. And then I step towards the fountain, draw my training sword, and I go, Rontomdal, to complete the ritual, I would like to show off for the seraphim.
What, how?
Draw!
I don't have...
You said you would help.
Yeah, I'm helping. I am helping. I thought we were going to draw and chalk and chant together. That's what we were doing.
Well, we're gonna.
Okay, hold on.
What is your weapon of choice? It must be a valiant duel. probably.
Yeah. Hold on. He kind of steps outside the ritual circle and kneels and kind of starts chanting over like a patch of cobblestone. And one of the cobblestones kind of starts cracking and crumbling, and emerging from it is a staff, like a stone staff.
Oh boy.
Okay, all right. What, do you want me to hit you?
Yeah. Come in. We're gonna try to make it part of the ritual. We're gonna fight. Careful,
Sure.
I'm trained by one who cannot die.
Okay, all right. Will do. Okay, roll hack and slash.
All right. Probably should have stuck to the 11. So 8.
Okay. So you kind of step forward and kind of hit him in the arm, not terribly hard.
I bop him.
Yeah, but you bop him pretty good.
Ah.
Yeah, darn. And he kind of swings the staff, and you try to parry it, and it just goes high, and so it ends up like kind of bonking you on the side of the head.
Ah.
And you know it kind of goes back and forth. You technically take 3 damage. And you know, Rantamnal has like a bruise under his robes. And so you start kind of tussling, and you're keeping it friendly, but you're trying to make a big show of it. And after like a couple of seconds, you realize that you're not actually making contact with anything. And the you know, like the images around you of like buildings and ground and sky are like getting really hazy and foggy. And Rantamdal's there too, and he is noticing this as well. And eventually he just kind of stops and kneels and looks up. Standing in front of you is an angel, a seraph, 10 feet tall, with kind of grand gold and white wings, a sword across their back. Looking at this seraph hurts your eyes. It is simultaneously the most beautiful creature you've ever seen, and also so unnerving that you feel yourself small and ugly by comparison. Rantamdal is crying, profusely crying right now.
Stop it.
And it's just there. You feel like you're both in Tower Town and not in Tower Town right now. And this angel just kind of cranes their neck down and looks at you with eyes that essentially are trying to forgive you for something. Like you feel as if you want to confess something, even though this seraph has said nothing. The seraph's just kind of looking at you.
I'm sorry.
For what are you sorry?
Jeez. I'm sorry for the time that I put the magic fair before helping my friend, and I'm sorry for the time that I hurt my brother with magic, and I'm sorry that I wasn't strong enough to help my friends when they needed me to, and like lots of them, two of them have died. I reach into my cloak and I take out a notepad.
Mm-hmm.
And I start reading it while holding my sword. Great Seraphim. May I ask your name?
I am the militant.
Okay. Um. Great militant. Thank you for. And I look back around Tondel, and then I also kneel. Um. Gracing us with your presence. Um. I have put on my performance, my duel, and beseeched you today, because I have learned of your might. Um, um, I, I ask. Um, I spoke with one of your like little buddies, the cherub. I don't think I got their name, but I think maybe like Tony. Um, and they said that I implored how to best defend my friends and myself, and they said to put my friends first and to use myself as a shield for them. Um,
Sage advice.
yeah. Um, I beseech you today to. I am worried that me and my friends may be facing foes that I may not be able to defend them from with the magics that I have learned. I ask that perhaps even for just a small amount you may uh, bequeath to me, or help me find some mighty power like yours that I might defend them more than I have been able to in the past. Thank you very much for your time. Um, Thank you.
The Seraph looks at you for an indeterminate amount of time, sometime between 10 seconds and 5 hours. You don't know. Time is getting weird.
I hold up my training sword and bow my head. Wait.
The Seraph takes it.
Oh, that's very important.
Thank you. And it is gone. You don't know where it went.
Bill's going to be so mad.
The Seraph then presents you, Chauncey, with another sword. It's in a scabbard and kind of covered with kind of wrapped in like a leather strap and everything. It's beautiful. It's this beautiful short sword in its sheath. And hands it to you. Take that sword out of its sheath only in your moment of need.
Can I, like, just while we're talking, just now peek at it to see and then?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Great, Seraphim. Can you remind me I'm not very good with names.
The sword I gave you will allow you to seek the militant's revenge upon something. You will unsheath it that one time. But know that when you do, you will owe me a great debt.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, O Great Militant. Also, I know this isn't necessarily your forte, but I have been very curious about a basket situation in town. If you know anything about missing picnic baskets, or you could even leave a note if it comes up.
The fog dissipates in this burst of golden light.
No, wait!
And you're back in town, and you have the fountains right there, and the ritual circle's all gone. The cones kind of vanish. But at your feet is a scroll. A small scroll tied in gold and purple ribbon. You kind of open it up and you unfurl it, and written in gold ink is just a very, very brief note. Caliban the thief is a thief of many things. Baskets are not one of them. They were bought and paid for. Ultimately, Caliban is a good person. Warmest, Tony.
Tony! Yes!
And it kind of puffs away into a cloud the second you finish reading it. Well, now you have an angelic sword. Let's switch back to Etama. So, Hazel, you end up kind of gliding back in over the walls, and you feel kind of the gift of the land and the air start to leave you as you land, and you kind of turn back into your regular arms and legs form.
I immediately pull out my sketchbook that I used to only use for drawing, nature stuff in my druidic studies. But lately I've been drawing a lot more like battles and Dali and Yava. And I start drawing everything that I saw so I can tell people, and also more pictures of Yava.
Yeah, there's, it's one of those things where there's like, Yava in profile, Yava staring off at the horizon. And then like between them, just like a battle plan of the town. Mm-hmm. You feel the footfalls of Dali behind you, and Dali takes a knee so that Dali's only 10 feet taller than you, and looks down at the sketchbook. A palisade wall, crude but effective. No match for a siege engine like me, though. Point me to it. Shall it be destroyed? Shall I destroy it now?
Not yet. Let's talk to everybody about it. We got enough on our plate right now.
Prioritization is a key ingredient in a successful war. I wish you luck, my friend. And then kind of Dali gets back up and continues to just like pile tiny stones on top of other stones to rebuild the wall. So all of you ultimately kind of make it back around the great table. Ronaldo and Vil, the vault contained a number of really interesting things, including but not limited to like a manifest of what's in the armory, the results of Knights of Prospect investigations and battle records stretching back literally centuries, all sorts of vast fortunes worth of money, all kind of various things that would take literally years to go through. But you have kind of what you're looking for, though, which is kind of the memento box and time capsule of Elva the Seer, She of Solitude. And, you kind of have the contents spread out over the table, and all of you are kind of gathered around looking at this stuff. It's a mix of papers, letters, missives, some of Elva's own writings, her recounting of when she was in the Orcish lands, a story about her training in Sentinel, like the great elven city of the East, all various things, a bunch of artifacts, Some of them, Chauncey, you feel are just like crackling with magical energy that is apparently undiminished. So it's all right there on the table in front of you.
Guys, I have very important news.
Oh,
What's that?
what is it?
Caliban did not steal the baskets.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know. Thank you.
An angel told me. A small
Thank you
angel.
for the report.
Burying the lead, but yeah.
And I
You
got
talking-
this.
You talking to Angel?
Whoa!
I showed them the scabbard.
Whoa.
That looks a lot more fiery than your sword used to look.
Yeah, Phil, I'm super sorry. I talked to an angel named the Militant, and he took your sword from me. The training sword you got for me, and he just gave me that.
It was a training sword. It was meant for training.
Well, take out the sword. Show us how it works.
I can't. I mean, I could, but that would be probably wasteful. He said that I could use the sword, and it would enact the Militant's revenge, and I bet it's a super awesome thing. But he said I could only do it once, and then I owe him a great debt. So I figure I save it for later.
You should not be owing debt to any more beings of any kind.
Oh, me and the Inevitable are square. TUS with me. I win the magic fair. We're fine. So
Owing debts is not a good pattern of behavior.
well, I have this. If I don't use the sword, maybe I never use the sword, and then it's fine.
Maybe.
I start drawing a sketch of the sword.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that a human, elf, dwarf, or halfling could have possibly made.
Who's that naked lady you drew?
Nothing.
She's very beautiful.
And the
Yeah.
detail.
Chauncey, don't look. You're too young.
It's a hobby.
Very nice.
It's very good. Very talented.
Thank you.
So yeah, Elva the Seer's kind of personal history, all in artifacts.
All right, Chauncey, all sorts of magical goods here. We're looking for something that can see, or even Vil, you too, something ancient and elven here that might help us see, seek out, search. Hazel, something druidic. All I know about Elva is that she was of solitude and was very good at finding things and finding the way through things. There's also rumors that she had 5 eyes, but ancient legends. But
Did any of her eyes see ahead?
see ahead?
Ahead. On.
I mean, if she looked at ahead, I assume.
Did any of them see backwards? That's more interesting.
I don't know.
Ahead in time?
Oh,
Oh, that's way more
that makes
interesting.
way more sense. I think so. These are all legends, and every legend has a little nugget of truth in it, and the 5 eyes thing is probably just a little nugget of truth.
Do any of these records look like prophecies?
Well, hold on. Should I roll something for that, or?
If what do you? Your choice. What is in here? An amulet called the Eye of Elva, or a great bardic poem about a prophecy?
A great bardic poem about
Sweet.
the prophecy.
Okay.
I love poems.
You open up a sealed. It's kind of this sealed, like, oil pouch. You kind of like you're all just kind of instinctually drawn to it, and you kind of open it up and lift it.
Let's see what's in this.
There is there is a letter in there, and it just says, to Vil upon her return.
This is for you.
Did you know her?
No, she died. She died 100 years ago. That was
I don't know how old you are.
That was like 10 years before I was born. We
Oh.
never could have met.
Why were you looking for a prophecy? I wasn't even thinking of a prophecy.
I don't know. I thought that a Knight of Prospect might have been. I don't know. I just had the idea. Just got lucky.
Sure. Well, it's for you. So there you go.
You open it up.
Is there a gift card?
No gift card.
Okay.
Birthday card.
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Vil. It reads, those that missed you are gleeful upon your return. Your great journey, though you thought it has ended, has only begun now. You are walking the great path, and it is your responsibility and those of your friends to continue it and follow it. There is now a great weight, a weight carried only by those that have seen death and chose to walk forward because it would save others. You and your friends are to lead to a glorious age of the Knights of Prospect, an age glorious enough to stave off the great evils that are to come. You need help. Help in the form of those you can trust, other brave knights beyond just your number, knights that were taken from you. To find them, you must go now. And here's the choose your own adventure part, everybody. This poetic poem of prophecy is going to lead you to one of three places. It's up to you to decide which one it is. Well, first, it mentions specifically a plateau with an interesting name that is considered a holy site. What is the name of this holy plateau?
Technus.
Technus is located in one of three places. I leave it up to you. Sellsword City in the Dominion of Vor, which is a week's ride to the south. Pilgrim's Road, the northernmost city-state in the Riverlands, a week's ride to the north. Or in the Theocracy of Enteresh, which is another country, a week's sail to the west. Sellsword City, Pilgrim's Road, or Enteresh.
Enteresh Theocracy.
To see the great state of Technus.
And I don't like boats.
Did you not always like boats? Is this a new thing? I don't know if I don't know if you're I don't know if trees don't like boats.
Ronaldo's
That's my
trying
question.
to ask if it's a tree thing. that
No,
you
Yeah.
don't like
no.
boats.
This is my personality.
Okay.
I don't care for boats. Wide open space as far as the eye can see. The ground moves.
The ground doesn't move.
No.
It's water.
The ground of the boat.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It does do that. It does there. Yes.
Waves.
Waves exist.
No trees around.
Oh, you'll be around.
Maybe we can fight another Kraken. Vil, did you get to fight a Kraken with us?
Oh yeah, we fought a giant sea monster. Those
It was
exist.
Awesome. So
You would have hated it if you hate the water.
At around this time, on the holy site of Technus, the great plateau outside of Sepulchre City in the Theocracy of Enteresh, Akka, with his scarred face, is sitting over a pool of water with Sister Ix on the other side. and they're looking into it and they're chanting together. And they see an image form in the pool of Archmage Akka and Archmage Basia sitting in chairs in Etama, being fed water by Winnie and Raz. Sister X and Archmage Akka share a very, very curious look. And Archmage Akka looks at Sister X and says, well, this accelerates things. And we'll end it right there.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Creepy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty spooky.
We found a prophetic poem.
Very cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, there's now that you're Knights of Prospect, this is the great game now. This is the
Yeah.
the great the movement of nations.
Training wheels are off.
Yeah. I like that Elva this year sees time, I think, is what we've figured out. Like,
So cool.
Yeah, that's what Elva does.
Neat. Very neat.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's almost if last week kind of represented like an end of season, like big, there it is. This is definitely the start of the new season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chauncey talked to a freaking angel.
Stop making deals with extra planar beings, Chauncey.
Gone relatively fine so far.
Literally, the number of bad things that have happened in this campaign due to Chauncey's promises to creepy beings. It's inappropriate.
What? I help one evil book become an archmage, and then I make one deal with one angel. Who among us hasn't done these things?
I just love the lame excuse to fight your brother too.
It's a very important part of the ritual, obviously.
You gotta fight it right in the book.
The last time we hit someone on the head to impress somebody else did not turn out well.
Somebody died.
Yeah.
And then another person died in their place, and now they're back as a forest revenant.
All I can think is if Chauncey accidentally kills his brother after everything we all went through to protect Rum Tomdle from the last evil being Chauncey dealt with.
I just need to make a few calls, make a few promises, and Mom Tomdle will be right back in action. Tony, hey,
Tony, hey.
Listen, I need.
Your cousin Tony from way out of town.
Yeah. My cousin's a cherub.
Tony's note. Tony's just always listening to help out.
Solid.
Tony's like, militant's not going to answer that
Yeah,
question.
you know what? The militant, other things the militant needs to deal with. Well, anyway, speaking of promises to extraplanar beings, audience, thank you so much for joining us.
Sorry, the chat was on fire.
Yeah, you guys are killing me.
Way to go, chat.
Friends in the chat. That was fantastic.
So for those of
about
you
the B plot?
for those of you on the chat plane, we promise to be back every Saturday at 8:00 Eastern Time. Here at 2MB Studios. If you like watching comedy on Twitch, we certainly do. I recommend tuning in, subscribing, carving 2MB Studios into a piece of wood so you remember it. It is really a great place. Does anyone here have any other shows on 2MB Studios they want to quickly plug?
Every Sunday there is a show called Once Upon a Doodle. It's a family-friendly improv show where we improvise as well as an artist draws the whole thing live. It's very cool. It's very interactive, and it's fun for the whole family.
It's amazing.
And I have a show on Mondays at 7 p.m. called That Sounds Right. It's an educational game show where we all learn nothing. And this coming Monday, John Serpico and Whitney Hawkins are joining
What?
to make shit up. It's going to be fun.
Amazing.
Gotta be a
Wow.
great time.
Speaking of John Serpico making shit up, I saw from chats someone saying, wow, this GM is so damn good. How does someone else become so damn good?
Oh, there are a couple of different ways. Practice is one of them, but also another one is going over to 3weeks.courses. Oh, there it is right there. 3weeks.courses. It is a wonderful, wonderful company that we are partnering with here. They have a whole raft of classes about all manner of subjects, from personal finance to I think kind of general fitness and wellness, to also how to run tabletop role-playing games using some improv techniques. That last one is taught by me.
Yeah.
So go to 3weeks.courses. We are enrolling now for December. So check that out if you want to see what you can learn in only 3 weeks. Anyway, we will be seeing you all next Saturday at 8 o'clock. Between now and then, adventure boldly, everybody, and have a great night.